When I picked up the phone to ask my son Max when his wedding would be, my daughter-in-law Lena looked me right in the eye and said, with a chilling smile, "Oh, we already got married yesterday." We only invited special people. Those words hit me like a bucket of ice water. Special people. For 3 years, I'd paid their rent, $500 every month. I bought every piece of furniture in their house. I filled their refrigerator when they had nothing to eat. And yet, I was not a special person. I stood there in my own living room, holding the phone like it weighed 1,000 pounds, watching my son avoid my eyes while Lena made herself comfortable on the sofa I had bought for them. The pale pink dress I had picked out for her wedding still hung uselessly in my closet, along with the new shoes and the illusion of being part of the most important day of my only son's life. I had spent $200 on that dress, thinking about how nice I would look in Max's wedding photos I would never appear in. For weeks, I had planned every detail. I'd even saved $1,000 to give them as a wedding gift. I called my sister Diana in Chicago to tell her the good news. I cleaned my house from top to bottom, hoping they'd come celebrate with me after the ceremony. All of that collapsed in 1 second with those 4 poisoned words. Only special people. Max finally looked up and said, "Mom, it was an intimate thing, very small, just the 2 of us and the witnesses." But I knew he was lying. I saw the photos on social media. Lena's parents were proudly standing next to the bride and groom. Her siblings were toasting with champagne. Lena wore that white dress, the one I helped pay for with the $800 I'd given her last month. I saw everything I wasn't supposed to see. A week later, exactly 7 days after that humiliation, Lena called me again. This time her voice was trembling. She said, "Renate, the rent is overdue. The landlord says if we don't pay this week, he'll kick us out. You forgot to make the transfer." Her tone was no longer confident. It was desperate. But I was silent, remembering all the times I ran to the bank to make that transfer. All the times I skipped my own plans just to make sure they had a roof over their heads. All the times I ate beans and rice so they could live comfortably. And now, after they excluded me from the most important moment of their lives, they had the audacity to call as if nothing had happened. "Lena," I said softly, "didn't I tell you I only help special people?" The line went quiet. So quiet, I could hear my own heartbeat. For the first time in years, it wasn't me who was trembling. It was her. The next morning, the house was quiet. Too quiet. Martha sat by the window, a cup of cold tea in her hands. She could still hear her daughter-in-law's words echoing in her mind. "We got married yesterday." No invitation, no call, nothing. For a moment, Martha thought maybe she didn't deserve to be part of their happiness. But then she looked at the wedding photo that someone had tagged her in online. Her son was smiling, wide and proud, and right next to him stood the woman who had promised, "I'll make your mother proud." That line broke something inside her. She had raised him alone. Through storms, through hunger, through everything. And now he had simply erased her like she never existed. That afternoon, Martha took out an old box. Inside were letters her son had written from college, each one ending with, "Love you, Mom." She smiled sadly, then whispered, "I miss that boy." Instead of calling him, Martha opened her notebook and began to write. She wrote about her pain, about the silence, about how love sometimes fades not with anger, but with neglect. Her words flowed like tears, honest, raw, and full of truth. By nightfall, she had written 6 pages. When she finished, she folded the letter carefully and placed it in an envelope, On the front, she wrote just one line. For when you remember your mother. She didn't post it. She simply kept it on the shelf near the family photo. Because some letters are meant to wait, just like mothers do. That night, for the first time in weeks, Martha slept peacefully. Not because things were better, but because she had finally let go. Weeks passed. The seasons began to change, and so did Martha. She started taking morning walks again, talking to neighbors she hadn't spoken to in years. Her smile slowly came back, small but real. One evening, as the sun dipped below the hill, there was a knock at the door. When Martha opened it, she froze. It was her son. He looked different, older, quieter, holding something in his hand. Mom, I found this, he said. It was the letter, the one she had never sent. He told her his wife had seen it while helping clean the old house, and for the first time in years, his voice trembled. I'm sorry, Mom. I thought you'd be happier if we didn't bother you. Martha didn't speak. She simply stepped forward and hugged him. A long, wordless hug that carried years of love, regret, and forgiveness. In that moment, she realized something important. Love doesn't disappear. It just waits patiently until someone is ready to feel it again. They sat together on the couch, talking about small things. Her garden, his work, the wedding photos. No anger, no guilt. Just quiet understanding. When he left that night, Martha whispered to herself, some stories don't need perfect endings, just honest ones. And that's the story of a mother who stopped chasing love and found peace waiting right at her door. Did you like my story? And which city are you listening from? Let's meet in the comments. If you like the story, you can support me by subscribing to our channel so I can keep bringing more stories like this. Thank you so much for your sweet support. I'm looking forward to your comments on the story. On the screen, you can see 2 new stories that I highly recommend. There is so much more on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next life story. With love and respect.